Hey everyone, Margarita here. I just want to film this episode here today because this is Specialtree Spinal Care Facility in Romulus, Michigan, where my dad has been staying since February of 2023, since his injury occurred, since shortly after. He went to a couple hospitals and then here. But this is pretty much where he's been the majority of his time. And the issue with these people is before my dad even became a patient, when he was first with, he was still at the other hospitals, but I came here knowing he was coming here and I notified them of the crimes my mother was going to be committing, the manipulation and the fact that she poisons food and how it all worked. And they did not take me seriously. Shortly after he arrived, she was coming here regularly, I'd say at least once a week or more. And she was poisoning his food where he was suffering visible effects. And he then began having septic shock symptoms, although they did not know this right away. This happened numerous times, but he kept getting rushed back to the hospital repeatedly. And that's when they figured out that's what that was. And it began with a urinary tract infection, which turned into sepsis and septic shock. So that happened numerous times. And the fact that I told them in advance and they still did not take me seriously was a really big problem. And then at one point I had notified them not to release him into her care at all. And what would happen if they did. And then they released him into her care for one weekend to go to their family reunion in the summer of 2023. And exactly what I said was going to happen happened. And when I seen him again after I had ate dinner with him that Thursday and they left, and by Monday he was in septic shock, intubated in the intensive care unit, I believe, at Beaumont Wayne is where he ended. But she dumped him off here. He was already having severe symptoms. But what it is whatever poison she uses in the food, even though I don't know the substance, that's what causes all of his symptoms. So I'll talk about those separately. But at one point I did hire a private lab way before my dad's injury because I knew what my mother was doing. She almost killed me with an apple pie and I caught it. So in the beginning of 2020, I hired a private lab and I had a long conversation with that scientist who seemed to understand that I knew exactly what I was talking about. So the way they check for it, you have to actually know the substance that you're checking for in order to find it in one system. So she knows this due to the fact that she worked in the medical system for 45 years. She knows that they're not going to find whatever substance she's using. So, I verified this long before his injury with the private lab. And I did have his hair sample checked because due to that, I was trying to figure out what the substance was years ago after she nearly killed me. But it was self-pay and it was quite costly. So I had to guess the right category of substances and I guessed the wrong category. There were so many, it was like 13 or 15 categories that I did not catch the right one. So it was known in advance that this was going on. I warned them. And from that day forward, that was what got my dad the trach tube because he was hooked up to the ventilator for so long. That's when they had to do the surgery and do that. And he still has it to this day. But Specialtree here was warned in advance and they did not take me seriously on that either. And then it eventually led to my mother manipulating every single employee here and getting me banned from here. Telling them a bunch of lies and delusions about me, and it led to me being banned. And technically, I'm in the street. I'm not actually on their property if anybody wants to get any funny business going here. That's why I'm standing in the street. So, I just wanted to give everybody an idea. And I'm going to do my own personal review on this place because of what they've let go on with my dad and all the repeated hospital visits that he's had to have due to her poisoning the food. She's allowed to freely just walk in here, poison his food repeatedly. And, they didn't take me seriously. I even called numerous large agencies who control these type of facilities within the state. None of them did anything about it. And on top of that, they have an area in the fridge, in the pantry room for their residents here. Technically, anybody could get their hands on whatever she was leaving for him or whatever she was directly feeding him, because some of the time she left it for him to eat at a later time. And I know this because I ate it. once on purpose and once on accident. The time on purpose was done so I could prove my point, because I'm fairly confident how to reverse some of it. I mean, I know how to reverse some of it, and I know how it kind of works. And due to my condition, I knew I was going to experience symptoms, and I did exactly that and experienced exactly that. And then a couple days later, I accidentally ingested it. So that's how I know she was leaving it in the common area of the refrigerator here for him as well. So I'm going to do my own little review on this place and their crimes, the role they've played, the actions against me, and everything else. So I'll be back with another one. Thanks. Bye.